Hi, I'm Cliff, and I love playing tabletop games. And I almost always play them remotely with friends who are spread out all over the country and even other continents. And my best advice for anyone looking to get more tabletop gaming in their life is to play online. It might seem daunting at first, but there are some fantastic tools that make it easy. And that's why I'm here to share with you my top 3 tools for playing tabletop games online. First of all, you're going to need an app for voice and ideally video chat. And so, tool number 1 is Discord. Discord is excellent for gaming. It's a free app for text, voice, video chat, and then some. The ability to create your own Discord server for free is one of the features that makes Discord so useful for playing online. Within your Discord server, you can create as many text channels similar to a forum thread or messenger stream as you like. The voice channels also work as video calls if you activate your webcam. And so I recommend setting up several text channels, each with a clear purpose. General for non-game related chat. It's nice to have a separate channel just for character interactions, one for taking notes over the course of the campaign, maybe one for scheduling. The neat thing about channels in Discord is that you can create and delete them as needed. The other thing I love about gaming on Discord is the ability to invite bots that add a new feature to your server. Exploding Dice is my favorite one. It's a dice roll that responds to simple chat commands with a few advanced features like initiative tracking for Shadowrun, Earth Dawn, and a few other games by now. It's free to add to your server, but I recommend supporting Exploding Dice on Patreon because it unlocks the advanced features. And Discord is also great for sharing handouts such as text, music, and images. It's really easy to just drag and drop the file into a text channel. So if you're playing a tabletop role-playing game and your style is theater of the mind versus battle maps and miniatures, Discord, along with the nice dice rolling bot, is probably all that you need. All right, so the discussion portion I don't know if I should say that separately. Sorry, I'm new to this too. You guys, yeah, so all of us have used Discord, I think, here to play tabletop games and for other purposes. Bobby, what's your favorite feature or use of Discord that makes it so useful for this, as opposed to like Zoom or Skype or something else?
I definitely like the really simple and relatively good quality video chat feature. I like to be able to see people. I think it kind of adds something. You know, when you're playing a tabletop game with over only voice, you can there's a lot of cues that you miss between the at table social interaction and everything. And you have to, but being able to do it over video is really good. And Discord has over the years made that really, really simple.
So as theater of the mind, or do you need a battle map and tokens to move around?
Oh, I'll do either. I prefer Theater of the Mind because that's just less time for me, where I can focus more on building a really cool story and the details behind it versus approximating where things are on a map and then have that kind of dictate the narrative for me.
And Opti, what do you think about rolling dice in Discord? I know we've played a lot of games together where that's the main dice roller.
I honestly think that it plays favorites.
Everybody thinks that. Yes, everybody does.
Randomness is random, and it's chunky. That's a statistical mantra. Randomness is chunky.
Because I mean, when I play Shadowrun, it definitely seems like the man gets all the dice. But I have to say, when I'm playing Earth Dawn, my character Scratch the Orc Troubadour seems to get incredibly awesome rolls. So I have to say I enjoy it. I enjoy the flexibility. I enjoy some of the capabilities, like as far as like the bots and the scripts that you're able to run in Discord. It makes life a lot easier. And I like having the chat log, right? I like being able to be like, what happened last session, and just being able to scroll up and go like, oh yeah, I remember that.
No, so that's cool. That's a good point, because you can use it as like a live chat, but also more like a sort of a rolling archive of notes.
Yeah, so we have, like sometimes a little bit disjointed, but we have an archive of everything that we've ever done in our Earth Dawn and Shadowrun games. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, not amongst my top 3 tools, but I love to use Google Drive docs for that as well. But let's move on to tool number 2. So tool number 2 is Roll20, a virtual tabletop. Roll20 runs in a web browser with a collection of features designed to take the place of a physical tabletop. It does have a text channel, provides a character sheet support for many RPGs, a dice roller, journal section, voice and audio chat, a music player, tokens, drawing tools, and a big open space to doodle on and move your tokens or minis or whatever. The GM can prep multiple different tables and switch from one to another quickly. This is really handy if you're able to plan out some of the encounters or scenes ahead of time. It's a bit fiddly, but the tutorials are excellent. And if you're willing to put about 30 minutes into learning how to use Roll20, you'll get the hang of it really quick. There's lots of custom assets, those tokens, minis, maps, handouts, game stats, created by RPG companies or individual users, many of which are free, but most cost a few bucks. What's cool about those is if you're running a popular published adventure module, you can probably find a custom table that's all set up with everything you need for running that specific adventure, with like the maps all ready to go. What's also nice about Roll20 is it's free and it's incredibly popular. It's a very popular and useful tool for playing RPGs online. Its one drawback is it sometimes takes a while to add or modify the tabletop, usually when you need to change something on the fly because your players went in an unexpected direction. I've had more than one game session that involved a lot of waiting on either side of the virtual GM screen. But I found that if I just use the most bare bones basic features of Roll20 and don't worry so much about things like fog of war and custom scripts, but just basically a fairly blank map to doodle on and some simple tokens, that's all I need and it works well. Shatter Missions Online uses Roll20. What's nice about that is it makes it easy for GMs. We're able to bake all the missions set up ahead of time with the maps and NPC tokens, all the text for the adventure built with the journal section, so the GM can just jump right in and run the adventure. So those of us here, I think, Oz, you're probably the one who's used Roll20 the most. What's your overall impression and experience of using it in a big picture as a virtual tabletop? Is it your favorite option for that?
I really like Roll20 for theater of the mind gaming, actually. I feel like it does enhance it in a lot of different ways. One is you can have all of your character sheets and you have a journal section on the side, so you can like actually have like kind of like a little mini wiki of everything that's going on in your campaign, just at a glance, available on demand for any player, as well as character sheets. Music can go right there, and then in addition to that, you can also put like picture tableaus, right? You can just grab whatever you want from the internet that's like that feels right, or you can put a giant map in there so you don't have to actually print it physically, because I know a lot of people like having, you know, here's the big city map. So like all of that stuff is just there and available, and so I really enjoy using Roll20 a lot. But I do agree with you. Yes, the more complicated you make, like the more fiddly you make Roll20, then of course the more fiddly it's going to be generally. And you could say the same thing for in-person RPGing as well. So
Yeah, but also at the same time, if I've been on the creating end of the tabletop plenty of times a while ago, and if you have the time to set it up, it can, especially in a game that's that can be very map and token heavy like D&D. You can if you set it all up ahead of time and you really have the time to do that, it can really make things a lot of fun for a lot of groups who like that sort of thing. Cliff, you mentioned Shadowrun Missions Online, which is the Shadowrun venue that we run in the network. One thing we love about Roll20 is that we can create a really simple on the fly, like you buy a ticket, you come in, you join a game, and we've got everything set up, all the assets, all the things for GMs to look at, like what is the NPC stats and the player stats and the maps for the players to look at and everything, and it's all there. But it definitely does require a lot of work to set up to take advantage of that.
I personally, when I use Roll20, I don't like to use it for the main chat or I don't like to use the audio or video chat at all. I like to have Discord running to handle that side of things, and also to handle the dice rolling, because I like using the dice roll in Discord better. Just a personal opinion. And then also have Roll20 going for doodles or moving tokens around, or maybe as a music player for streaming. That's really handy to build up a music playlist. I do wish there were better mixing capabilities, but I'm kind of an audio nerd and DJ.
So you know what would be like the best solution with Roll20? Because I feel the same way. I really like the tools, but I hate using it. And the reason I hate using it is because when I'm DMing or GMing, I need to be all in with the story, and I can't be distracted by the fiddly bleeps and bloops. It would be awesome if you were like dual GMing, right? Like if you had an experience where you were able to tell the story, but then you just had like a sort of backup assistant to the GM.
Which I'll jump in and say you can totally do.
Anyway.
You can promote someone else in the group to GM status, and they can handle all that for you. So
right. So
that is something you can do within Roll20. You just have to have a person who's willing to do it.
Right. Like, so if you just had like an assistant GM and they were doing all the bleeps and bloops and the cool shit, like that Roll20 would be amazing. Like it would be great. But I'm not there. So
I think overall it is pretty amazing, but the more you do with it, the more there is to do. So let's move on, though. I do have a third tool, which is tool number 3 is Tabletop Simulator, my favorite virtual tabletop app. Tabletop Simulator is the only tool on this list that is not free, but it is well worth the relatively inexpensive price tag. I recommend picking it up through the Humble store, so part of your purchase goes to charity. It's normally $20, but it often goes on sale. So Tabletop Simulator is a virtual game room with just intuitive physics. At the center of this virtual room is a table. You can zoom in and out, rotate your view, use your mouse cursor to move game pieces around, flip cards over, grab and roll dice. Basically whatever you might do with your real hands if you were there in meat space, in person, that is. It's incredibly simple at its core, and I love it. But what makes Tabletop Simulator so mind-blowingly powerful is the community that creates content for it. Almost any board game you can think of exists as a purchasable DLC or more often a free mod. For tabletop RPG playing, using it is easy. You roll dice that move around the table, populate your table with tokens, figures, dice, terrain, even whole dungeons or board games. It's easy and intuitive to use. What you see is what you get. You use it much like you would use a real table. That you can magically summon dice, figures, or whole board games that you don't have to clean up afterwards. And then there's the immensely satisfying flip the table button. For tabletop board games, Discord and Roll20 just doesn't cut it. Tabletop Simulator is the way to go. And there you have it, my top 3 tools for playing tabletop games online. So do you play tabletop games online? What are your favorite tools? I'm sure you can think of at least one that should have been on my list. Whack them down in the comments. And if you like this video, please do the YouTube things. Like, subscribe, hit that bell, and thanks for watching.